Alright, so we got the cab down, where it goes, and now we are starting to work on the cab mounts. So what we're going to do here is we're going to figure out the back cab mounts first, and once we figure out the back cab mounts, then we can figure out the front ones, and then once we have the back and front set where the cab goes, then we can figure out our mid cab mount. So what we decided to do here was take a piece of 4-inch C-channel and lay it across the frame in the back and to create our cab mounts. We have the original cab mount bushings here that we're going to use for it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to lay the piece of 4-inch C-channel down on the frame like this and go across, of course, like up under this right here, because it bolts right there and it bolts right there. I guess you guys can probably see up under there where it bolts. But so we're going to take the C-channel, mount right here, and then kind of cut the C-channel out so the top flat part sits on top of this. Then it like comes out and down and then across. So the C-channel will be sitting like that. So this is the C-channel and it goes down like that. So I guess that's kind of what we figured would be the best to be able to keep this cab as far as we can down on the frame. So I guess from here, let's go up there, mark our C-channel, and get the back cab mount cut out. All right, so we are at the point right now where I got the back cab mount all done, all cut out, notched, holes drilled, and everything I need to set the back of the cab down. I talked to you guys a little bit earlier about how we were going to notch it and how it was going to go on the frame. And I guess here it is, what we decided to do. We got a piece of 4-inch C-channel here, and then what I did is I will come in here and notch that so that will sit like down on the frame. Like when we're done, that'll sit down on the frame like that. Then I can weld it right there and all along the end there. And then of course I have my 2 cab mounts and bolts right there. So what I got going on here is I am going to tighten that up, make sure it's all nice and square, tighten it up. Then I can set my cab down on the frame. Then my cab will not be real rocky. I guess like this gantry right here, it is really nice, but as you can see, the cab is rocky. Then you got the front picking up and back picking up. It is a lot better than 2 skid loaders picking up on each side, but it's still not 100% perfect. So I guess we're just dealing with what we got here, and so what we need to do next is tighten them back cab mounts up, and then we can set the cab down, and then I guess square it up, and then start working on the front mounts. So we're actually using the factory front mount here. So this is a Dodge front here. This is the mount I cut off the other frame. So as you can see where I cut the other bolts, it is on the frame here, front cab bolt, and then it is on over here. So that is what we did. We did not have to shim it up. These are the factory cab mounts, front clip cab mounts, whatever you want to call them. That's factory. Have been making sure our wheels are lined up in our fender, because one important thing is to get your back of cab to center of axle measurement the same. So we've been working quite a while to get that the same. It's really hard due to the concrete falling 7 inches from the back of the barn to the front of the barn, and just everything's on a slope, frame's on a slope, cab's on a slope, frame's even sloping more down because of the suspension and stuff. And it's just kind of been a pain, but it's finally where we want it. I'm excited. I'm going to get the welder together, or get the welder out, and I guess tack this thing where it goes. That way we can pick the cab back up, clean everything up, weld it good, and then the cab is set for really forever here. So, I mean, it looks real good here. I guess I'll move this out of the way. You can see what it looks like. But, I mean, it's looking real good. Just the stance of it. I mean, I know this is not down all the way, but, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I think it looks real good for just on stock suspension. But that's what it looks like for tonight. And let's get the welder out and let's tack this thing. All right, so here is the deal on our cab mid mounts. We have, as you've seen, we've got the front mount done for the cab. We've got the back mount done for the cab. And now, since the cab is squared, leveled, everything's good, we are just taking our old mount, bolting it right back up, and welding it to the frame. And I'll show you what we've done here. So what we've done is we took right there, we took our old Dodge cab mount off, then we took our new one, shortened it down. Here's the pieces over here. So we cut this part off of our old Ford cab mounts, and then, as you can see here on both sides, we shortened them, cut them down, bolted them up, and then we're going to weld them on either side. And then once we pull the cab eventually, then I can cut and bend down and weld them, finish welding everything to the frame. So once we get these things welded up, then we're just going to leave the cab on here just for now for building and set our bed and stacks and front bulkhead and everything that way. So I guess without me rambling on, let's get the welder out and weld these cab mid mounts. All right, so I just got the cab mid mounts tacked where they go. So now the cab is sitting where it goes. It is final. The back cab mounts are done. The mid mounts are done. The front mounts are done. Everything's tacked for now. And then I'm just waiting until I can pick the cab up. Then I will finish welding everything, or all the cab mounts and stuff. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move on to working on the bed here. So kind of our vision here is, if we turn around here, it's going to be a flat deck all the way back. We'll have two saddle tanks, one right here, one over there. This one will be the battery box, and we'll have stacks coming up right here and stacks coming up on the other side. There'll be a bulkhead in the center, almost kind of like this over here, just the same stacks, but they'll go down. It's not going to be a bed like this it'll be like a flat deck. Then we'll come back here and we'll have a back bumper go all the way across, and then some flaps and stuff behind the wheel. So I guess it's kind of a mix of my design and my buddy Adam Spragan's. So I'm going to take that idea, twist it a little bit, but first what we got to do is we have to take these helper bags off. There's one on this side, there's another set on the other side. These things they were on the frame when I bought the frame, and these things are not needed, so we're going to take that off. And then we got to take this bed mount off, this bed mount off, and then what we are going to do is to, instead of trying to cut the frame and keep everything square and move the frame back, I'm going to move my whole axle back. So, because in between here and there, like my tank, with my stack being here, it's 8 inches, so it's a 6-inch piece of tube, but it's 8 inches from this edge to this edge right there. So with that being said, to give a little bit of clearance between the cab, that stack will come to about like right there. So then my tank will probably start right here and come back. And I want to say that tank's like 38 inches, 40 inches, something like that. But I got to have room in between my stack so I can set my tank in there, and then I want a little bit of room in between my tank and my tires so it's not like right up against each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the axle back in the frame. So I got to torch all these rivets out, and then we got to put a plate in here. That way this bracket can sit right in here, and as you can see where the frame goes up right there, I got to make a bracket to go like this and then up. That way this can sit flat right back there. And then this, we're going to move back 16.5, 17 inches. We're going to put this bolt right here and this hole right there. So if we grab a tape measure, actually, let me go find a tape measure real quick. So I got a tape measure, and so this is what's going to be. So I guess let's extend out some more. So from this bolt hole right there to that bolt hole right there is roughly going to be like 16 inches, something like that. 16 and a half, something like that. So once we move that back, then that allows us to have plenty of room for our stacks and bulkhead, and then our tanks on either side. And then that way our frame, or I guess our bed, can be longer, but we do not have to extend our frame. Yes, with this bracket being right here, we'll have to extend our frame a little bit, but that'll be easy just back here, instead of cutting the frame up there and having to move everything back. So I guess first things first, we got to take these bags off, and then after that, we got to take the Dodge bed bolts off this frame here. All right, so now that we got the bed mounts off and the back cab mount off, now we can cut our rivets for our spring hangers, and then we can roll this axle back where it goes and I guess see what it looks like. So what we did here is, of course, I swept the floor and then I cut all these off. These are the bed mounts and that's the back cab mount. So I had some cheap welding blankets from Harbor Freight. Yes, it did burn it, but my cab is 100% good. It actually protected it real nice, surprisingly, even though it got burnt real bad. But so we got them brackets cut off, and now we got to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back here these rivets 1, 2, 3, 4, and then roll this whole axle back, and then that way this bolt hole right here will fit in this bolt hole right here, and then we can see what the what kind of space is in between the back of the cab and the axle. So I guess we have the welding blankets over our wheels, and we had it over the back of the cab when we were cutting on each side. That way we do not throw sparks, really anything to damage these wheels. So that's what we're going to do. Let's fire the torch up and start cutting these rivets to move the axle back roughly 16 or 17 inches here. All right, so what you just seen here is we cut them rivets off, and then we were trying to pound the rivets out or put a cold chisel in between the frame and the spring hanger and trying to pry it out. So we have the frame up on jack stands. We have all these out, so they're all loose on all sides. So we got this side done as well, and then that right there. So what we gotta do now is we are going to try to roll the axle back in the frame, because the frame is just sitting here on the jack stands. So then now we got to roll the axle back to where we get this bolt hole in that one, and we got a couple 1/2-inch bolts to stick in there, and then we will set the front where it goes back from this hole, wherever it is back here, and try to drill a hole and bolt the front. That way we can see where this thing will sit, and then we can pull it off, drill all the holes where we want, and then we can bolt it back on. One thing I do want to say is these spring hangers, I kind of cut them real fast. I wasn't trying to be very careful because I am going to buy new spring hangers for this thing just to make it look good on the outside and just make it easy, because as you've seen, I was trying to cut that and put a hole in it. I mean, like that one did pretty good, but that one wasn't. So we're going to buy new spring hangers for this thing. So I guess without us rambling on, let's set the camera up and try and see if we can get this axle rolled back and bolt it in tonight. All right, so we got the axle moved back. I think it was kind of a total of 16 inches back from where it originally was until where it is now. I guess we moved it back, drilled new holes, and so this is where it previously was. The mount was right here, and then this is where it's at. So I guess you can see kind of where we moved it back, and then we don't have a hole for this one or that one, but we're going to come off with a plate like this, come under, and then go up to the frame and then we can box it all in back here. But we drilled the hole for this, and then we did the other side. And then coming around to back here, like I said, we caught that hole with this front rivet right there, and then we just ran this bolt right here. That way it could just kind of stay level with the frame here. So we got the axle moved back, and then me and Dad were kind of discussing what we're going to do, how the bed layout's going to be, how tanks, or our battery tank or a battery box, and then our fuel tank over there, how it's going to all kind of come out, and then gooseneck and back bumper, and how we're going to incorporate everything. So we finally come up with an idea of so what we're going to do is we're going to have our stack box. So our stacks they'll come kind of almost like a false stack. It'll come from under the frame and then up, and then it'll go up. They're going to be stacks kind of like that. And then on top of this, we're going to have a 4x6 piece of tube come all the way over and weld to this stack, all the way over and weld to the other stack. That way when our exhaust from the front comes up, and it'll go up, I'll have to cut some of this, bracket out, then it'll go up into that stack box, and that stack box will be incorporated into the stacks. So our exhaust will come up through the exhaust, up through here into stack box, and then out both stacks. So it'll come back up into the stack box and split and go up and out the stacks. So that's how we're going to do the stacks. And then we are going to have a piece of sheet metal bent. The whole length starting from up here all the way to the back, and then we'll have it bent down like so it'll be a piece of sheet metal like that, and then bent down. That way it will come across and then go right down the side, and we don't have to worry about welding this whole edge right there. That way we can have a clean, sleek look, and it'll all look good. And then coming around to the back here, of course, we have only that bolt right there, but we're going to incorporate our back bumper, have a piece of 9-inch C-channel going down here, and then weld all that into the frame there. And then this will be the back of the bed right here. The back will go right here, and then of course I have my bumper back here. We were going to do a piece of like I was deciding between 4x8, 4x10. I think 10-inch will look a lot better, but what we're going to do is instead of making it a piece of tube and just straight all the way across, we're going to go straight and then in towards the front, straight in towards the front. So it'll kind of look a little bit different. I guess that's kind of the idea of the bed. I'm sure it's kind of confusing right now. I have it in my head. I don't have it on paper yet or not, but it'll make more sense once it starts coming together. But so we're going to do our subframe out of 2x2 tube, and then our cross members out of 2x3 tube, and then we'll have our sheet metal piece go over top of that. So I guess it's kind of probably a little confusing, but it'll all turn out and it'll all come together once we get our metal in, once we start fabbing up our subframe and stacks and stack boxes and our bumpers and everything. I think it's going to look really good. So I'm super excited. I mean, it looks really, really good. I guess we can walk back here and see what it looks like. I mean, it looks really good. The back axle stretched, and I mean, it moved back 16 inches. So instead of the front of the spring hanger being right there, moved it back there. That was center axle right there, and it moved back to like right there, something like that. I think I forget. My marks are all kind of confusing here, but it looks really good. I like it a lot better how we moved the axle back, and I think we found a way to do this without having to cut the frame and extend the frame. Well, I guess if I would have done this right, I would have bought an extended cab long bed frame. That way I wouldn't have to do any of this, but I could find a good deal on this engine, transmission, and frame that it was a regular cab long bed. But I guess it's better than cutting the frame and having to do all that work. But I guess next things next is, I guess we have all the metal here to get the subframe and stack box and stuff fabbed up, and then we can order metal and then start on our whole bed and bumper and stuff. And I guess this thing's going to start coming together soon. So I guess let's let's get it. All right, so I guess now that you kind of got an idea of what it's all going to look like, and I guess now we have to just fab up our subframe in a stack box, and then it's just going to start coming together real soon and real fast here. And I think it's going to look really good, and I'm sure you guys will like it. So I guess I'm excited to get it all fabbed up and see what it looks like.